Shalom. First and foremost, call Loyum, Wakabala Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Raruchakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the fellow laborers of the hopeful elect tabernacle of David scattered throughout the four corners. Earthquake rattles Israel as Biden arrives in Israel. Is that an omen? Is that a sign that something's getting ready to come down the pike? Who knows? But it made me think of a key prophecy that you read about concerning how Israel, which is occupied by Amalek at the moment, they're going to be the ones that's going to cause Babylon the Great to basically be dragged in, fully engulfed into this war with Russia. Now, just to, go back on some updates as to, what's been going on currently, you had Iran come out and basically tell Russia that they're going to send hundreds of drones with combat weapons on them to help them with Ukraine. And right after that happens, Biden, Sleepy Joe, with his with his faculties losing out, he pretty much issues a threat towards Iran. He pretty much said, we're y'all getting involved, we gon', because and really they're doing it because they still are afraid of Iran reaching that nuclear. I'm trying to think of the term to put it, but they're trying to prevent Iran from producing, nuclear weapons, in which Iran they've been produced enough uranium to manufacture or create nuclear weapons. They've been done that. But it's funny how Biden, when he first was going up against Trump before he got into office, that he wanted to undo what Trump did as far as the Iranian nuclear deal, and now he's doing the complete opposite. So now he's basically threatening Iran. And we understand, according to prophecy, that Iran is going to be under the guardship of Russia, which is Gog and Magog. Ezekiel the 38th chapter playing out. So after this happens, he shows up in Israel, and then an earthquake happens. So, what do y'all think? Y'all think that's an omen? Because we know, according to the scriptures, let's go to it, because this is what I thought. Let's go to Jeremiah 49. And was it 19? It is Jeremiah 49 and verse 19. And it says, "Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong, but I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time, and who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out." And who is the least of the flock? Amalek. All right, the state of Israel, the current state of Israel. Okay, they're the most despised. They control that little portion of land, and all the nations around them do not like them. And then when you look up that word least, in the Hebrew, I believe it's tazayar, which means insignificant. All right, like when Job said, "They that are younger than I have me in derision," that's these devils. Okay. But they're going to be the cause of why Babylon's going to be fully drawn into this war. That whole situation dealing with Ukraine and with NATO, well, Israel is all tied up in that. The Israeli forces, the government, even Zelensky himself, he's one of them. All right. And that conflict is evolving into a world's war, as we can all see. So it's all happening, right? And Biden just so happened to go over to the land of Israel in the midst of this, and then an earthquake happens, right? Continuing on, it says, surely he will make their habitations desolate with them. In other words, Babylon is going to get rattled by the missiles that's going to be coming from Russia, China, Iran, all their allies. All right. And also the land of Israel is going to get hit too, which is why it's going to be in ruins by the time we go back over there. And that's why we're going to need these nations to build up, you know, those walls and build up city and do a lot of agriculture, because everything is going to be refurbished. Everything's going to be rejuvenated once all that heat from the missiles go off. It's going to clean everything. All the elements are going to melt with fervent heat. All right. It's going to do a big cleansing of the earth. But what's also going to proceed once those missiles hit, once those missiles start to detonate, it says the earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. And this is talking about the destruction of Esau. Primarily Esau here in Babylon the Great. America's going to get totally wiped out. That's what the next two chapters, Jeremiah 50 and also 51, it goes into that, how Babylon's going to be uninhabitable. It's not going to be inhabited forever and ever like Sodom and Gomorrah. Like when you go up to verse 18, it says, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Because it's going to be left wasted, devastated by all those missiles. When those missiles hit, it's going to cause a big earthquake. It's going to move the whole earth because so many detonations are going to be going off. It's just the impact. It's going to be causing all type of tsunami waves, all type of stuff, man. It was a joke, them recently coming out with that public service announcement on how to survive a nuclear attack. It was pretty much a suicidal, it was some suicidal advice. If a nuke goes off, hey, just go in your house and stay away from the windows. What kind of shit is that, man? It's like at least they already know, well, we already got a safe spot, so we ain't worrying about these people. That shows you how they really care about you people. They don't give two shits about you, man. All the sheep of the world to them are all disposable. They can all die as far as they're concerned. But they're not going to escape either, man. But getting back to the point, the fact that Israel is going to play a main role in this whole ordeal with, you know, the least of the flock drawing the army out, them being gathered over there in the Middle East for war, and it's gonna result in an all-out nuclear war that's going to cause a major earthquake. So that's kind of what I take from that. That's like an omen. Biden representing Babylon going over there to Israel, all right, in the midst of a war getting ready to be on the brink, and then an earthquake happens right over there. So something's getting ready to happen, man. Now, real quick, let me read the other translation of this same verse. Yeah, NLT, it says, the earth will shake with the noise of Edom's fall, and its cry of despair will be heard all the way to the Red Sea. Yep. I was talking about a earthquake. CSB, at the sound of their fall, the earth will quake. The sound of her cry will be heard at the Red Sea. Okay. So that's what's going to happen. And meanwhile, we're going to go up in a ship. You know, we're going to go up in that cloud that Yahushua is going to be in. Let's get that prophecy. Revelation 11 and 12, it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and a tenth part of the city fell. All right, from the east coast all the way to the west coast. You know, we know that the whole country is parted into 10 parts, 10 FEMA regions, and you also got the postal zip codes from 0 to 9. So that's 10 parts. It's all gonna get destroyed. It says, and in the earthquake were slain men 7,000. That's, we know 7 means completion. So all the men in America, basically everything moving, if you're not in that ship, you're done. Your ass is ash. All right. It says, and the remnant, which was the elect that got beamed up, the 1/3, were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. All right. And they're gonna be safe, and they're gonna, we're gonna tremble, because like the scriptures say, the righteous shall scarcely be saved. So it's gonna be, that's gonna be a crazy moment, man. The Spirit's gonna have to really be with us in that moment. They hear about the missiles coming and all that, and then the Lord shows up, and then you seeing all this turmoil, you seeing laser beams, people getting melted, people screaming and running. It's gonna get crazy, man. But we know that what's leading up to this, is you got war and rumors of war. These nations are preparing for war, like it says in Joel, the 3rd chapter, in the 9th verse. Wake up the mighty men, prepare war. Let them beat their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak now say that I'm strong. They're getting their nuclear arsenals ready, doing all type of drills, sending each other weapons. And Russia is playing a guard right now. They're building up the BRICS nations as a counter to NATO. So yeah, man, it's going down, man. All right, the vision was yet for an appointed time, but at the end, which we are in the end, is now speaking. And right now, what we're witnessing is wars, rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. We're seeing earthquakes in diverse places, pestilences, all type of outbreaks. All right, famine, food shortage, uproars of the people all worldwide. The MOTB is getting ready to be implemented once they finally collapse this system. It's all coming together, man. So that's why we got to constantly keep watch, man. Okay. Well, this was, what came to mind. All right. I know I didn't even read the article, but you know how the Spirit go. But that's the what's going on. Earthquake rattles Galilee as Biden arrives in Israel. So this devil's getting ready to get shooken up, man. Okay. So anyway, that I was just gonna make this quick. I'm just getting to the house. But Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Until the next lesson, Shalom.